All right, we'll go ahead and continue with University of Colorado head coach Tad Boyle and junior forward Andre Roberson.
Well, it's good to be here today. It's a great time in our lives to be Colorado Buffaloes and be part of our basketball program. There's a lot of excitement around our program right now, obviously coming off our finish last year. But, you know, as I tell these guys in practice every day, that was last year, and we're not going to talk about that a lot. But I think in terms of the media and when you look at our program, to give you some perspective, it's our third year here. It's appropriate that Andre's with us today because it's his third year in our program. And 2 years ago, new staff, new players getting to know each other. It was a whole new experience. Last year, we were preparing a team that had lost 80% of its scoring from the previous year, so it was basically a brand new team, brand new league. And now here we are again in year 3, and we got a brand new team. We got 6 freshmen, we got 1 senior, and thankfully we got a guy like this sitting next to me who's going to be very important to us this year in our progress of our team. But our team this year is going to be a work in progress. We're young, we got a lot of inexperience, but we're going to be relying on guys like Andre, guys like Spencer Dinwiddie and Skia Booker as we get going here in about a week. So with that, I'll open up for any questions you have.
Questions for Coach or Andre? Right here in the middle.
Coach, in your 2 years there, you're 32-4 at home. It can't just be the altitude. What can you say about the Coors Event Center and the atmosphere up there?
I wish we were 36-0. I can't tell you who we beat in those 32 games. I can tell you who we lost to in those 4, and 2 of them should have been losses. But altitude's part of it. I think but outside of that, you look at our fan base. Andrew Green, our sports information director, told me yesterday we're 200 seats away from selling out our home opener against Wofford on November 9th. So I think that will get done between now and the 9th. And to look at Colorado basketball and the history of our sport at our university, to be in a position to talk about a sellout against a non-conference opponent from a different part of the country and have the Coors Event Center sold out says a lot about our fans. And I think our student section and our community have rallied around this team over the last 2 years, and you've just kind of felt it build and build and build. And now it's incumbent upon us as coaches and players to make sure that we continue that excitement. But outside of the altitude, I think our home court advantage with our fans and our student section has been phenomenal.
We'll stay in the middle.
This is for either Andre or you, Coach. Talk a little bit about the Gangnam Style video you guys did, and how did that idea come about?
Well, I'm gonna refer that to the players. So I was not part of that video or the organization of it, so I'll let Andre handle that one.
All right. Well, it all started with I think it was a student in our athletic building, and just kind of suggested that video for like the Buff Madness and getting everybody excited for that like Midnight Madness showing for us. You know, and I feel like our guys got a real kick out of it. You know, and they really wanted to do it after seeing how much publicity the actual video and how big the song was. So we just kind of like felt like we should do that. You know, get the fans pumped up. So it was good.
I loved it because it showed the personality that these guys have away from the court and away from basketball, and I thought they did a great job, even their dancing.
Question in the back, far left.
Sarah Cazell, Pac-12 Digital. Andre, we have a fan question for you from a Sarah James on Twitter. And she says, despite winning the Pac-12 tournament last year, you're only picked to finish 6th in the conference. Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure why that is. You know, I kind of feel like we haven't gained enough respect yet. You know, I just feel like we gotta go out there and work hard every day and practice, continue to get better, and you know, just go out there and continue to prove everybody wrong once again.
Question right here in the middle, third row.
Andre, how did you fare in the Navy SEALs exercises, and who do you think emerged as leaders from your team during that?
Well, the program, it was definitely a great experience for us, you know, not just only on the physical side, but also on the mental side as well, you know, just going through that, through the snow and the sleet, you know, and I just feel like it was great for our guys, you know, they got tougher, team bonding, you know, just fighting through adversity. And what was the second part of that again?
Who do you think emerged as a leader
I feel like myself, Askia Booker, Sabatino Chin, Spencer Dinwiddie as well, and I feel like everybody stepped up, and played their part in the whole thing. So it was good.
Any further questions? Right down here, second row.
Tad, just with what Andre's done these last couple of years, do you feel like he's a little underrated nationally?
Without a doubt, this guy is the most underrated player on the national scene. He's a guy who, without question, in terms of the returning players, I think is the best defender in this league. He can guard all 5 positions in the court. I mean, think about that. I mean, he can guard a point guard to a 5-man and anybody in between. He was 3rd in the country in rebounding last year. I don't know where he was rebounds per minute, but he was right up there as well. And if you think about what he's done for our team over the last 2 years, a program that's won 24 games in back-to-back seasons, went to the Final Four of the NIT, and then the 3rd round of the NCAA tournament. And he's led us in rebounding, block shots, and steals. And I look back to his freshman year, he did that all playing about 20 minutes a game coming off the bench. And the progress that he's made in his first off season was great, and I think the progress he's made here in his second off season as he goes into his junior year has been very, very good as well, because his game continues to evolve offensively. He's making threes now. He's putting the ball on the floor. So he's becoming a well-rounded basketball player, not just a rebounder, not just a defender. He can do a lot of things to help our team win games. And the thing he does probably better than any player I've ever coached is he gets your team extra possessions, whether it's an offensive rebound, a steal, whatever the case may be. He can affect the game in a lot of different ways without scoring the basketball. And he scored it pretty well for us last year.
Over here in the middle, right side.
Tad, just following up on the predictions, how do you see the top of the conference shaking out and your guys' chances of getting in that top 4?
I'm not very good at questions like that. I know our league recruited very well. I think there's a lot of good young players coming into our league, and a lot of nationally rated recruits. Arizona and UCLA obviously come to mind. They did a great job on the recruiting trail. I think we did a great job on the recruiting trail, but it's so hard with young players to predict how quickly they're going to acclimate to this league and college basketball. I do think our league is going to be better from top to bottom. I think you can make an argument for every team in our league. Our team, for example, we may not be as good early as we were late last year because of the leadership we lost and the youth that we have. But you look at our talent level, by the end of the year, we can be a better team this year than we were last year. We can be. Now, whether we will be or not, who knows? I think what our league has to do, what our conference has to do, is we have to win games that mean something in November, December to get the mojo back to the Pac-12 conference and where it belongs and where it should be, because I think there's a lot of good players, a lot of good coaches in this league, and we just have to prove it. It's talk is cheap, and I don't get into preseason predictions. They picked us 11th last year. They picked us 6th this year. Nothing is more irrelevant in my mind.
Question on the left side in the middle.
Yeah, Coach, can you tell us a little bit what you expect out of freshman Josh Scott this year, and what you've seen of him so far in practice?
Yeah, Josh is a special player. He's a guy who can really score on the low block, which we haven't had since we've been in Colorado. And he's a guy. Sometimes your players tell you more about a player than you even observe as a coach. But he's a guy, when he's open down there, our guys are looking to get him the ball, and because they know something good's going to happen. And Josh has got a knack for scoring down there, getting fouled. He's a good foul shooter. On our European trip, he averaged 17 points and 7 rebounds. So as a true freshman, those are pretty impressive numbers. But again, he's going to be a work in progress. He's going to be going against bigger, stronger guys. He needs to gain weight and gain strength. But Josh is going to be a terrific player for us, and we're going to need him to be a terrific player this year for us to be as good as we need to be, because we have a void at that position, and he fills it pretty well.
Any further questions? Got one more here in the middle.
Coach, you mentioned losing some leadership. Who stepped up into that role?
Well, I think this guy right here, Andre's done a very good job. He mentioned Sabatino Chen. We have one senior on our team. Sabatino's a guy who comes to work every day, had a great offseason in the weight room. And then I think our two sophomore guards coming back, Spencer Dinwiddie and Askia Booker, I think of those four players, and that doesn't mean other guys can't emerge. I think, you got to be careful as a coach to, at this point in the season, really designate. We don't name captains right now. I mean, that to me, the captains will evolve and they'll emerge as the season goes on. A lot of people will designate captains in November and December. I don't like to do that because I think our team needs to be, hit in the mouth a few times before we figure out who's going to step up and lead when adversity hits. And I think Andre and Sabatino and Spencer and Askia come to mind.
All right, gentlemen, that'll do it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.